Yo, how's it going, everybody? It's your Spaghetti Yokai Poppy Wolf, and today we're going to be talking about villains. And this is going to be the start of the series I started last week, where I talked about my favorite MCU villains, and I ranked them all under I wouldn't say zeitgeist, but under a checklist of what can constitute a good villain. And I graded it all. It was a fun thing, and I thought I would do more of those kind of videos. And since today's my Friday, the new episode of the Owl House will be dropping. I believe it's episode 2 of the last season. I think we gotta talk about Belos, man. Belos is a villain that I genuinely enjoyed. I loved him, and I loved how mysterious he was. I loved how going through the show, as I was progressing, I was finding myself thinking, yo, what is his story? What is his background story? And even still, we still have a lot to learn about his background story. And already what we got so far is pretty compelling. And I think we have enough to grade him on. So join me as we go into what makes Belos a great villain. And unlike my tier list where I graded MCU villains, this one's gonna be a little more intimate. And I'm gonna go through the checklist questions, and we're gonna, decide and have a little talk about if he meets those requirements, and where personally I would grade him on out of a scale 1 to 5. So let's begin. All right. So what I'm using is I use Jerry Jenkins' what makes a good villain checklist, and I think this really does help us pinpoint exactly Belos' strong suit to the villain and where he's probably lacking a little, but I think overall we can get a good grade from this. Again, I grade it like on a test, so there's 15 points, 15 divided by whatever grade I give it from 1 to 5, and then if it's, of course, put him on a tier and grade him off of that, whether it's 90 and above for A, anything above 100 is S, B is 80, of course. Yeah, so let's get into this, man. I'm really excited. Yeah, so let's just jump in. Okay, so the first thing is Belos convinced he's the good guy? And honestly, I think this is a great place to start, because Belos is substantially a villain who believes that the ends justify the means. For him and his brother were witch hunters. They were these individuals who made money and made fame and made reputation off of, quote unquote, finding witches, finding the evil, pushing it away. And for him to go to a realm that is full of demons, full of these magical creatures, he is fully convinced that eradicating that entire dimension, that realm, is his ultimate good deed. And that is the ultimate thing a witch hunter like him could leave behind. So if I had a grade whether he's convinced he's the good guy, I'd give him a 6. This man is going above and beyond, seeing a whole realm as his justifications for being a good guy, that they're bad because they don't fit his ideals, therefore he's the good one and they're just heathens. Okay, let's go to question number 2. Has he many likable qualities? No, this one, I feel like Belos lacks a lot here. It's not so much that he has likable qualities per se. I think as a person, we just genuinely enjoy seeing him shrouded in mystery. He intrigues us. He makes us wish, like, oh, like, what's more to the lore? And even now, with not us having a full story about him, we're still intrigued. Like, how far does this lore go? Is he Ida's brother-in-law, or is he just like, where does his insecurities really root from? Like, we still have so much character depth to get out of someone like Belos. So I'm really excited to see what we get more of, because as of now, I think his only likable qualities is still the mystery that we don't know fully everything about him. So if I had to grade that, I'd give it a 3. I think he has that main likable quality, but it's not enough to make him an overall character that we're interested in. Of course, if information comes out, he most likely will get more love, but for now, I'm giving him that 3. Okay, let's go on to the next one. He's worthy enough to make the hero look good. Now, let's see about this one. Is he worthy to make the hero look good? I gotta say, yeah, he definitely is. What he does here is plays the opposite to Luce in the best way possible. Luce, who's someone who enjoys the boiling isles, who comes with this open mind and is just fully excited to come and embrace everything here. He sees it as everything he's been fighting against. So when you put those two together, especially the fact that they use the same type of magic, they're very much him being this human who's despised this fantasy world to be opposed with someone who actually enjoys it makes Luce look amazing. We see Belos use the same magic she does, and so when we see how fluent he is and how fast he is and how kind of OP he is, you kind of think, dang, we can't wait till Luce gets to that level so she could be on head-to-head like toe with him. And even though when the reveal happens and Luce realizes that she's the reason why he's so strong and he has the most, it just becomes so symbolic. And I can't help but think this is a 5. This is a 5 on the scale. She made him a stronger villain and he made her a stronger hero. That's more than you can ask for in any villain, honestly. Like seeing Belos like have that reveal with her in the Mindscape made all of us go, yes, we got confirmation. And even when we get confirmation on exactly what type of bastard he is, we still don't have enough. You, as the reader, like when he is present on screen, or the viewer. Yes, I think. Let me explain this one, because I'm giving this one another 3. No, I'm giving this a 4 simply because when it comes to Belos on screen, we're getting lore dumps. We're trying to figure out more about him because he's so, like I said, his main quality in question 2 was he was a mysterious character that we knew nothing about. He felt very godlike and dictator-like, and he has all these rules in the world, and we're just loving to see him on stage because we want to see, why does he think the way he does? Why does he move the way he does? Like, why does he pretend like he knows everything? Does he know everything? Like, we don't know to extent how powerful he is. So when we do get him on the screen, we're left, picking apart everything he says to get a little bit more about his personality. So I'm giving that a 4. I mean, do I love him on stage? I'm on the screen? I don't, but I definitely can't say when he's not there. I'm not hoping that he drops little lore dumps. So move on to question 5. He's clever and accomplished enough that the people must lend him begrudging respect. Oof. So I think as a character to a viewer, he is beyond clever. He's beyond accomplished enough in every way for this mortal man to exist in a realm of demons for as long as he did, and then to eventually not just govern them and even dictate how they should learn magic and how they should act in their he literally becomes Stalin and Hitler to these demons really quick. He just divides them, makes them weaker. He systematically takes away their freedoms. God damn. As a villain, as a viewer, you can't help but respect as a person who wants to hate him. Like, god damn, he really did. He systematically enslaved an entire realm of demons, and he did it almost so simplistically and effortlessly, and it's kind of scary if you think about it. I have to give this one a 6 because even the characters who watch this, or the characters themselves in the show, almost feel like the fact that he is human and hates demons is almost blasphemy. I mean, we have a whole character literally like give herself to him, her life, her workload, like she lives and breathes him, and only to find out that he does not see her as anything other than just somebody killed, like, shatters her. Like, Belos is goddamn. Shit. Well, going on to question 6 now. Is he a fool or bumbler? Now, this one is gotta give a 5. There's nothing about Belos that made him look foolish. There's nothing, like, he played a fool in front of our character Luce, and as we know, eventually Luce will time travel with Ida's sister. I'm blanking on her name currently. They eventually go to the bowling isles long before any of this has happened, and they meet up with Belos back when he was his human adventure name, and he cost a demon their brother, and almost kind of plays it off like it was an accident, and he's this poor human, lowly human, weak human who is just misunderstood. He's a fish out of water, only for Luce to realize towards the end when he betrays them that he is playing everybody. He is just a manipulator beyond like demon concept. He's making demons seem more human than anything, and technically they're not humans. They come from these Titan blood-like things. It's kind of Norse mythology over there. I love it though. But again, seeing how easily he's able to make you feel bad for him and kind of want to, help him, and it's all a lie. And he does it so in character. That's definitely 5 material if you ask me. Does Belos have many of the same characteristics of the hero, but they are misdirected? And this one has to be another 6, because it's not only is he somewhat the same as Luce, it's the fact that he is the opposite of Luce. While Luce sees the Boiling Isles as a place for her to fit in, a place to feel seen, a place to feel herself, Belos sees that realm as everything he despises. He has very much of the same characteristics, coming to this world, feeling alone, and all these things. But what makes Luce feel like a hero in this world, that she can learn magic and, feel free and be herself. For Belos, it's constricting him that he has to stay in the Boiling Isles, that he can't go back to Earth, that he can't enslave them, or he can't get rid of them as quickly as he can get back home. Altogether, they're very much missing the mark with each other, like by inches. But Luce and Belos have more in common than I think they like to let on. Even the fact that when she teaches him the light magic, and they are able to bond over the fact that they both use rune magic. Again, another way that she kind of saw him as a hero through the journals and his findings and whatnot. So it's very much a person or a potential hero who went the wrong way, and now it's up to our hero to either course correct them or at the very least stop them before they become even more villainous. Kind of like Two-Face in The Dark Knight Rises, or no, Dark Knight, not The Dark Knight Rises. I haven't slept, so excuse me. As we move on to number 8, does he occasionally be kind and not just for show? And this is a good tidbit of like lore I was talking about in question 2 is, and in question 3, I believe. Yeah, 3. No, it's question 4 actually. But when he's kind to Hunter. Now this one is very interesting. We can unpack so much from what other people say about Hunter, how he's not the person that he's based on, and exactly how much Belos takes an interest in him, and even how much Belos looks at Hunter and kind of mentors him, and you can see this begrudging regret in his voice and the way he refers to Hunter. So it's one of the things that it's not something that's it's not fake kindness. It's this genuine tinge in his voice and regret that he does miss his brother, and all he has left of his brother is Hunter in a sense. And through Hunter, he can kind of unveil more of his human side. But before he became Emperor Belos, that's what he very much can unpack. Well, that's very much what we can unpack as an audience from him when we do see him interact with Hunter before the ending of season 2. I think I'm going to give this a 4. Simply, I've been giving really high grades with him a little bit, but I think a 4 is a perfect, because although I would care for more and I would love to see him almost take a bullet for Hunter, he's very stern with him and he keeps a very strict boundary, but he also very much makes Hunter feel like he's cherished and loved and appreciated when he is on screen. But we know that it comes second before his own needs first. So if it's felt a little bit more closer to his first needs, it could be a 5, but it's not. It's still his needs before anything else. So I think a 4, it makes the best sense. Now going on to question 9, can Belos be merciless? Merciless even to the innocent? And like I said prior, it's yes. He's definitely a 5 for this. He's a monster in a world full of demons and other creatures. For him to be like the most unhuman thing in a world that has no humans says a lot about his character. It says about how merciless he is. He's willing to kill an entire realm of people. It's almost like a whole planet of people, simply because in his justification, it's what will make things right. It's what will make him a hero. It's what will make, in a long stretch, if I'm leaping from one point to another, his brother proud. So again, I gotta give that one a 5 as well. His mercilessness, if you go to kill an entire culture of people, an entire realm of people, yeah, my guy, you're a conqueror of not worlds or nations, but of dimensions. It is terrifying. And now we get to question 10, and probably admirably is probably the worst word to use, but probably his most diabolic trait of himself out of everything. His persuasiveness. Calling it persuasiveness in itself is probably giving it a light sentencing. It's manipulation beyond a systematic scale. He divides a whole nation of magic wielders and puts them in a certain position that they have to stay in for the rest of their lives. He takes away their freedom and dresses it up as it's what the island requires. It's what God requires. He becomes a crazy zealot at that point, using religion to control the very people who practice said religion. He's enslaved them in their faith. It is insane, and how much they trust him and hear his words as if it's God the Titan saying those exact words to them. If I had to give this a grade, it has to be a 6 out of 5. It goes beyond what we're requiring of him as a person and as a character and as a villain. It is what makes him truly terrifying. So let's continue to number 11. He'll stop at nothing and get what he wants. Again, it's insane how much all of these are just high level. What I love about a villain is when it's not just a grandiose scale, but it's a grandiose scale with a strong conviction. It's the reason why we liked Thanos but couldn't really like Ultron, while his narrative and his motive is very much just built into him. Thanos is a whole philosophical requirement for him to fulfill. Like, he won't be at peace until that motive is, that whole objective is cleared. And for Belos, it's the very same thing. He returned to Earth, but he didn't do it the way he wanted to. He didn't win, and because he didn't win, he had to go back so he can win the way that he wanted. Belos is insanely powerful, insanely dangerous. I gotta give him another 6. Again, he got what he wanted. He got back home, but because he didn't get back to Earth the way he wanted to, and he did not win the way he wanted to, he was unsatisfied. Imagine beating a game, but because you got hit one time by the boss, you had to play the game all over again just to dominate the boss and win the way you wanted to. That is insane levels of I would say possibly narcissism, because he didn't get what he wanted. Now, when we get to question 12, is he proud? Oof. Now this one's a tough one. it's not really pride that drives him. It's not he doesn't take pride in the plan. It's more driven from his motive. He takes just no relish in it. It's just necessary for him. So this is where we are going to grade Belos really low, and I'm going to give him a 1. He really doesn't have any pride that's pushing him. It's other than the fact that he's a witch hunter and that this is what witch hunters do. There's nothing that he takes true pride in thinking, oh, like this is what I need. This is what makes me me. It's very much, no, this is what I need to do to be famous. It's not really a prideful thing. It's more of an ego. He's deceitful. Yeesh. This is, again, straight 5. I've already discussed amount of times why he deserves this 5. The fact that he lies to a whole realm, and that he's the minority and singular human at that point, and is able to slowly build up the ranks to systematically enslave them all. Again, he's a 5 there for sure. He's jealous, and especially the hero. Now this one is, again, it's tough to say he's jealous of Luce in any way. I don't think he is.
I think there's certain points where he's a little, not necessarily jealous, but surprised and shocked at how quickly Luce is picking up on. I think, not necessarily jealousy, but that tinge of like, how did you learn so quickly?
Yeah.
Years.
And I think he does appreciate that he can kind of resonate with her and thinking that they kind of share the same ideals. I think he does like the fact that she's a human learning magic the same way he has to learn magic, and he does enjoy that aspect with her. So if I had to give it, I don't really say jealousy, but I'm still gonna give it a 1. I think he very much accepts Luce, and he finds like a protege-ship with her, and that goes back to what I was saying. And I believe it was question 3, when I talk about how he makes Luce look great as a hero, and it's the fact that he was her hero. She's the reason why she's the reason why she was learning magic the way she was, and she very much was excited to meet this person who was very much another human lost in this realm, and done and researched and just accomplished so much, only to find out that everything he accomplished was not to build the realm, but to destroy the realm that she fell in love with. It's a slap in her face. And for number 15, he's vengeful. Lack for a better word, he is acting on nothing but vengeance and blind conviction of what he's doing is for the greater good. He is going to get a 5 in this category simply because that is his motivation currently in season 3. He lost. He didn't win the way he wanted to. Belos is overall running on nothing but revenge for the magical world that robbed him of many years and his heroship and everything else. Robbed him of his own brother, robbed him of his body and everything that made him made him human previously. Now he's just a shell of everything of that. And ultimately, if we have to calculate the score, which I will do right now, we will probably get a high grade. So let us put those numbers in, and yeah, we got an A villain right here. Our house has given us such a dynamic villain, and still we have so much more to learn, and I'm excited with the new episode coming out tomorrow. I hope each and every one of you enjoys this video, and yeah, give us a like or share, maybe comment down below what you love about Belos. For me personally, it's the fact that he systematically enslaved an entire realm, and he's a human. He very much took a lot of what the real world has and implemented it in a world that can almost do anything up to your imagination. It just goes to show how a villain doesn't need to be this overpowered monster from another realm. It very much can be just a human with evil ideals and a conviction to make those things happen. Sounds familiar? And I think it does. With that being said, guys, I hope you guys had a wonderful time. and this is again a series that I want to work on and try to at least master a little bit better when it comes to ranking a villain and going into their characteristics. And again, thank you guys so much, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. I have been your Statistic Spirit Guide Yokai Poppy Wolf, saying peace out, peace and love, and adios. And remember, wah.